Hello and welcome to another episode of the Restore Mentor. On this episode I'm going to be restoring a very sad looking SNES controller. It's extremely yellow on one side and also has the top right shoulder button broken, so I'm hoping to be able to repair this. Let's get going. First off, you want to turn the controller over and remove the 5 retaining screws on the back. Store them in a safe place as they're extremely small, you don't want to lose them. Next, remove the cover, put it to one side. You see both of the shoulder buttons come out of place with it. There's 2 little securing bars as well. You just want to be careful. That's one of them on the end of the shoulder button there. Just put these to one side also, don't lose them. This is the actual broken shoulder button here. That's the reason it's broken. You can see the end is snapped off, so I'll have to try and glue that back later. Hopefully I'll be able to get it to stick. Next, you want to remove the little S in the cable. This was originally put there, obviously, when we used to swing the controllers round as kids to stop the wire from pulling out, and it seemed to do a good job back in the day. Next, you want to just peel off all the rubber pads, put them to one side. I'm going to need to clean these later, and then you can fully see the circuit board with all the little contacts that will also need to be cleaned later using some alcohol. Next, you want to remove from under the circuit board all of the buttons and also the rubber pads, all looking very grimy. Obviously they're all going to need a good clean as well. You don't really need to remember where each one come out of because it's pretty easy to put that together. There's even labels or little notes showing what colour button goes where, so when you really put it together you know where they all go. As you can see on this side by side now, you can really see how yellow one half of the controller is. I believe this is some sort of fire resistant product they put in the controller that obviously over time turns yellow. And there's the broken end of the right shoulder button that I'm also going to have to stick back together. Next, you want to drop all the components, the plastic components and the rubber pads into a bowl of hot soapy water, and just spend a lot of time really just cleaning all the crud off before the next stage. Once cleaned, I lay out on a flat surface, just on a bit of paper towel, and just let them all dry off completely before the next stage. Next step is the gluing. This is actually a special infrared glue. You apply it to one side of the plastic, then you can hold the other bit you want to glue obviously into it, but it doesn't actually set until you put infrared light, which is actually on the other end of the glue pen. As you can see, I just positioned it together, and then with another pair of hands I got the infrared put in place, and yeah, it actually works really well, this glue. It sets really hard, and you can build it up, and it's yeah, a really good product. Next up, as you've seen in previous videos, it's time to use some rubbing alcohol and a cotton bud and just work your way around the circuit board, cleaning all the contact pads, yeah, and generally giving it a good clean up. Next up is my first attempt at retrobrighting. I picked up some Salon cream, I think it's 12% peroxide and 40% volume. Just place it all, well, all the parts you want to retrobright into a Ziploc bag, and then you just literally pour the cream in. Apparently it's really bad for your hands, so try not to get any on your hands, or skin I should say. Yeah, just pour it in and then just massage it around. I'm ready for the next step. Next step is to place it inside of my rather rudimentary looking retrobrighting machine. It's literally just two turkey roasting trays with a hole jammed in one side and an infrared light, which I got for a tenner, poked into the top edge. I put it in, as you can see, and just shut the lid down on it. And believe it or not, it actually seemed to work really well. I left it for 6 hours underneath the light, and yeah, you'll see the results later. every few hours or so I just came back and just massaged the lotion to stop it streaking. I've read this on other people's videos, or heard it on other people's videos I should say. This was the result after 6 hours. As you can see, it's still slightly different to the bottom half, but it's overall a vast improvement. I think if I wanted to, I could have left it in longer and it would have actually gone back to the original colour. But yeah, like I say, it's my first time, so it's all a bit of a learning process for me. Now time to put everything back together. This is the only little sort of crucial part you'll want to be careful to get all the colours back in the correct holes. As you can see, they're all labelled, so it's not too bad, but you don't want to end up putting it all back together and then realising the green button, for instance, does what the red one should. Don't forget to insert the tiny little metal pegs that hold the right and the left shoulder buttons in place. Next up was the deliberate mistake. I actually put the right and the left buttons in round the wrong way around, which was pretty stupid, but I just corrected that when I realised. Next up, put the control board back in place. Just be careful, obviously all the buttons will fall out at this stage if you shake it about too much, and you want to just reroute the cable back through the little S's. Also reposition 2 little control boards underneath each button, and just check they're all still seated in place before you put the rear cover back in position. And that's nearly the job done. As you can see, it's all looking very smart. The buttons are both working nicely now. Yeah, just time to put the screws back in. Be careful not to over tighten them. They will strip the plastic out if you do them too tight. You just want to knit them up. And then yeah, we are nearly finished. And that is job done. Now time for some before and after photos. You can see the state it was in and how yellow it was, obviously with the broken button. And yeah, now for the after. I'm really quite pleased with the way it's turned out. It's quite a simple fix, and yeah, if you haven't done already, like, share and subscribe. It really does help, and I shall see you in the next video.